What's good, everyone? It's the one and only NY Phenom. If you guys enjoy NFL NBA content, want to see some more gaming content soon, give this video a like, and if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you at it. Now, let's go and get into this video. Stop it, Harden. You're not better than Giannis, man. James Harden is not better than Giannis. It's as simple as that, man. I gotta get my 2 cents on this little James Harden versus Giannis beef. Listen. James Harden, before I get started on how he's not better than Giannis, I like what I'm seeing. I like that I'm seeing 2 stars, as a matter of fact, 2 superstars, actually not liking each other. They actually don't like each other. It's like the first time in a very, very, very long time that we had 2 superstars that just pretty much don't like each other, man. I mean, there's footage all the way back to like 2014, showing James Harden and a rookie Greek freak, scuffling, talking trash at each other. I mean, these guys really don't like each other, man. We saw what Giannis did to Harden in All-Star Weekend when he was the captain, picking his team. He picked Trae Young and Kemba Walker over James Harden. Okay, I'm gonna be real. As much as I like Trae Young and as good as Kemba Walker is, they're not as good as James Harden. So, that was a little diss there. It was a little solid diss at Harden, saying that he wouldn't want to play with Harden because he doesn't pass the ball. It's all cool. But, at the end of the day, I have to speak about this because James Harden says something, saying the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, is just a 7-footer who dunks on, or who just dunks on players, and saying that what Giannis does doesn't take as much skill. He doesn't appreciate it as much. So I had to spit my 2 cents on it because, a lot of people are saying, well, you know what? James Harden is right. James Harden, he averages 35, 36. He's averaging almost 40 points this year. He should be more in the MVP talk over Giannis. We should be discussing, is James Harden, really the MVP over Giannis? I don't want to hear that, okay? Giannis is better than James Harden, okay? As a basketball player, James Harden is not touching the Greek freak. Like, let's keep it a buck. Have you seen how dominant the Bucks been all year? Are the Rockets as dominant as the Bucks? No. You know why the Bucks are so dominant? Because they're led by the Greek freak. And for you guys who are saying, well, he's 6'11", damn near 7 foot. I mean, he's just driving to the rim and dunking. Doesn't take no skill. He doesn't hit step back threes. He doesn't have the ball handling like a James Harden. He's not just crossing people over. Listen, it doesn't take all that. It's about playing to your strengths. And what does Giannis does damn near better than anybody in the entire league? Plays to his strength. Hey, listen. Was Shaq as skilled as Allen Iverson? No. But you know what Shaq did in the early 2000s that made him the best player in the league? He plays to his strengths. He was 6'11", 7 foot, 325 pounds. He was built like a tall ass nose tackle. And he played to his strengths, man. He post up, catch lobs, and bully. Just play bully ball. And that's what Giannis is doing, and you can't hate on him. And here one thing for James Harden. Are you as good as a defender as Giannis? Because all I'm hearing about from James Harden is he's not as skilled as an offensive player as him. He can't do what he don't think that Giannis can do what he does for the Rockets, and he couldn't carry the Rockets to this, that, and the third. Listen, James Harden isn't on the same planet as Giannis when it comes to being a defender. Let's not get it twisted. Giannis is a top 5 player in the league, not just because what he does offensively, putting up the 30 points and 12 rebounds. This guy's a stud on defense. He takes us up the best matchup. He takes on the best offensive player on the opposite floor. He defends. He plays with all his heart, and that's why he's so great. So I don't want to hear this. Well, Giannis is just good because he's 7 foot and athletic. Listen, he can't help the fact that he was naturally athletic gifted. I mean, listen, what you want him to do? You want him to shrink to a 5'11", 205 pound PG and see how that plays out? I mean, you just can't hate on the greatness that Giannis has been showing for the past 2 years. Hey, listen, Giannis deserved that MVP last year. He did. Giannis deserved the MVP last year. It's as simple as that. I mean, you got people saying, "Well, James Harden," and people were arguing with me last year, talking about how James Harden should have been MVP over Giannis due to him averaging 36 points and all. Listen, stats are overrated when it comes to basketball. Everybody, just rivals and they just applaud James Harden as being this top scorer and all, which he is. He's a really good scorer, man. He's a great scorer, but do y'all really think he's the best scorer in the NBA? Hey, y'all, listen. If we had to pick somebody, if you had to pick a number one option on your team to lead you to a championship as your number one scorer, who are you taking? Harden or KD? All right, anybody with an actual basketball mind is taking that 6'11", 7-foot juggernaut named Kevin Durant. As big as a snake he is, and as much shit I give him about being a Brooklyn Net and talking shit about my Knicks, we can't deny the greatness that KD is. KD is one of the best scorers we ever seen in all history in the NBA. He's a top 5 scorer all time. Probably the best scorer I've seen since Kobe Bryant. That's just a natural scorer, man. James Harden's a great scorer, but he's not all around great scorer like KD. He can't go in the post and hit you with a post fadeaway consistently like KD. He's not as efficient. Okay, KD, if you want to talk about stats, and since y'all are some analytical nerds who want to speak about stats, KD is always, 50%. He's always around 50% every year since his last few years in OKC, always around 50%. Your Harden, I'm not bugging out about people who shoot 44, 43, 45% because you got to put shit in context. I mean, when you shooting contested jump shots, your percentages are going to go a lot lower than somebody attacking the rim. But, speaking more about Giannis, because I don't want to speak too much about KD. Listen, speaking more about Giannis, you can't hate on Giannis for being that dominant, scoring 30 points by attacking the rim. Listen, you can't hate on someone's strength. If you can't stop somebody's strength, why would you want to force them to do their weakness? Same thing when it came to some of these quarterbacks in the NFL and some of these teams. Listen, as much as I shit on the 49ers, as much as I can't stand 49ers Nation, as happy as I am that they lost the Super Bowl, I mean, honestly, I couldn't shit on the 49ers for not being, or shit on Jimmy G most of all, for the offense being so dominant running, being so much of a dominant running team, and for Jimmy G only having 20 passing attempts. I mean, I couldn't hate on that. I couldn't hate on Ryan Tannehill only, averaging like 150 yards a game. You guys stop the strength of the team before you try to force to do the weakness. Same thing when it comes to Giannis. Everybody wants to hit on Giannis because he doesn't have a crisp jump shot. He doesn't have a pure jump shot, a pure three-pointer. He doesn't have a pure mid-range shot, even though he's improving. Listen, you gotta stop the guy's strength. And nobody has yet to stop Giannis' strength. The last time we seen Giannis slow down was the Eastern Conference Finals against arguably the best player in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard, Mr. Show Enough. So, overall, you just gotta respect the greatness of Giannis. And, overall, to keep it a buck, James Harden is not better than Giannis. Because what James Harden brings to the offensive side, Giannis he brings that same level of production, and he brings even more production. He brings even more elite production on the defensive side. And Harden is still a below average defender. He's getting better. All right, I'll show some love when it comes to that. Harden has improved from, the 2014-15 years where he was arguably the worst defender in the league. We remember the Shaq in the Four. We remember him winning that Shaq in the Four MVP. I mean, Harden used to really not try on defense. But he's not elite. Okay, he's not elite. He's not an elite on-ball interior defender like Giannis is. Giannis guards the pick and the roll, man. Like, this is what Giannis does. So I don't really want to hear this hate from James Harden. Talking about Giannis. But overall, two superstars going at it. I like it. It'll be a fun NBA matchup if the Rockets play the Bucks, even though I don't see it. I don't see the Rockets come out the West because at the end of the day, the Clippers and the Lakers are better than the Rockets. LeBron James, AD, Kawhi Leonard, they all better than James Harden. So at the end of the day, that's that. And we'll see how it plays out. But this is definitely, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. We gotta, the next Rockets versus Bucks game is definitely must-watch TV. It's must-watch TV. Hopefully, no one's resting. Hopefully, there's no load management going on in that game, and we can get Giannis versus James Harden. Man, that's what the coaching needs. Man, we need to see that. But overall, if I'm taking one, give me Giannis. Okay, Giannis is just a straight beast. There's a reason why he's called the Greek Freak, and I'm starting to think stats are starting to become overrated. They really are. 36 points, who cares? Who cares? Because Giannis is giving you 30 and 12. And if you just watch the game, you see how dominant Giannis is. Not just on the offensive side, but the defensive side. Look how dominant the Bucks are. The Rockets just has as much talent as the Bucks. I mean, I love me some Chris Middleton. Eric Bledsoe's a stud. Brook Lopez is solid. But, the Rockets got Russ. Russ is balling right now. You got the small lineup, even though it's working the regular season. I don't expect it to work come postseason. But, PJ Tucker, Rocco, Robert Covington, it's all working right now. So right now, the talent is pretty much equal. But Giannis is just he's just just more complete player over Harden. It's as simple as that. So, overall, Giannis is throwing shade at Harden. He started off. And James Harden's trying to throw some of it back, but I just had to speak on it because, Giannis has skill. You can't say you don't have skill when you're the MVP of the league. Right? You won MVP the previous season. Giannis won MVP in 2019, and he's probably gonna win it again. They're probably unanimously. Like honestly, Giannis should be the unanimous MVP. Because, as great as a season Braun is having, as great as a season, who else? Who else is really in the MVP conversation? Because I don't think Luka's in it. Luka's team isn't good enough to be in the MVP conversation. So overall, man, Giannis is just the MVP hands down. The Bucks are the most dominant team right now. I'm not saying that they'll win the finals, because I think whoever comes out the West. Both of the LA teams, Lakers and Clippers, I expect one of those teams to come out and win the NBA Finals. But at the end of the day, who's gonna beat the Bucks? Before I go, who's gonna beat the Bucks? Because my pick going to the year, I thought it was gonna be the 76ers. I thought the 76ers were gonna be the best team in the East, and they still got a lot more playing to do, but the season hasn't gone how we expected. I mean, you got Embiid, banged up again. Ben Simmons is injured again. Al Horford got benched. He's back in the starting lineup. I mean, there's too much going on in Philly. For me, really expecting to come out the East. The Celtics, okay, they're cool. But do we really expect Kemba or Tatum and Jaylen Brown to stop Giannis? At the end of the day, you got to stop Giannis. And I don't expect Tatum or Kemba Walker or Brown to get that done. So at the end of the day, that's that. The Heat too. Okay, I love me some Jimmy Butler. I like the team that they have in Miami. But at the end of the day, they're not messing. They're not messing with Milwaukee, man. You're not messing with Giannis. It's as simple as that. But that's it. That's all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm the phenomenal one, and I'm out. Deuces.